Done. Papa, say something in that.
Hello, hello.
Hello? Not recording.
No, there's no echo. No, let's go. No, let's see if it comes or not.
Hello. Input. Hello. I didn't say anything.
Okay. Shall we start?
This fire is real or?
Real. Fire, there is a gas connection there. So gas comes and then gas is burning.
Not like a real wood.
Not like a real wood. The wood is not real. Wood is just a decorative wood. But the fire is real because
That makes more sense. Thank you.
gas is burning. So we will start with three Omkaras and we will do Durga Sutra. Okay? Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Gananam Ganapati Gumhavamane Kavim Kavinamupamastravastamam Yestarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadaana Srunvannote Visidhasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vadevirvajivati Dhinama Vitrayamato Vagdevyai Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Jatavedase sunavamaso mamanati yato nidahati vedaha. Sanappanchadati durgani vishwanameva sindhunturitatyagnihi Tamagnivarnam tavasajvalanti vairojani karma phaleshu dustam Durgan Devi Gum Charanamaham Prapadye Sutarasi Tarase Namaha Agne Tvam Tarayanavyo Asman Swasti Bhirati Durgani Vishwa Oshra Bhatmi Bahulana Burvi Bhavato Kayatanayaya Jayo Vishwanino Durgaha Jata Vedas Sindhun Nanavadu Hitati Pachi Agne Astrivan Manasa Gunano Smakam Bhojya Vitatanuna Utanajitagun Sahamana Mudra Bhakti Kumpurema Parama Sadastat Sanapachadati Durgani Vishwa Shyamadhevo Adiduritatyagnihi Ratnoshitamibhyo Advareshu Sarachahothanam Yasya Satsi Vanchagne Tanuvam Pitrayasva Swabhyanta Saubhagamaya Jasva Govirjastamayajo Nishikantavendra Vishnoranusantarema Nagasya Prushtamavisambasano वैष्णवी लोकैकमादयन्ता ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। So we do lead and follow. So I will lead one line. This is Osagara Sarana. So just follow, repeat after me. Okay, one line, one line. Bhavasagara Sarana Karana He Bhavasagara Karana Sarana He Ravi Nandana Bandhana Khandana He Ravi Nandana Bandhana Khandana He Charanagata Kinkara Bhitamani Charanagata Kinkara Bhitamani Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Hri Kandara Tamasa Bhaskara He Hri Kandara Tamasa Bhaskara He Tumi Vishnu Prajapati Shankara He Tumi Vishnu Prajapati Shankara He Para Brahma Para Veda Bhane Para Brahma Para Veda Bhane Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Manavarana Shasana Ankusha He Manavarana Shasana Ankusha He Naratrana Tare Hari Chakshusa He Naratrana Tare Hari Chakshusa He Gunagana Parayana Devagane Gunagana Parayana Devagane Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane. Last time everything, everybody can sing together. Okay? Two times. Kula Kundalini Guma Bandaka He Kula Kundalini Guma Bandaka He Rudhi Granthi Vidarana Karaka He Rudhi Granthi Vidarana Karaka He Mama Manasa Chanchala Ratradine Mama Manasa Chanchala Ratradine Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Guru Deva Dayakara Dina Jane Ripudana Mangala Nayaka He Ripudana Mangala Nayaka ईश्वरा भयदायक है सुख शांति वरा भयदायक है त्रयतापहरे तव नाम गुणे त्रयतापहरे तव नाम गुणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने अभिमान प्रभाव विमर्दक है अभिमान प्रभाव विमर्दक है गतिहीन जने तुम्ही रक्षक है गतिहीन जने तुम्ही रक्षक है चित शंकित वंचित भक्ति धने चित शंकित वंचित भक्ति धने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने तम नाम सुधा शुभ साधक है तव नाम सदा शुभ साधक है पतिता धम मानव पावक है पतिता धम मानव पावक है महिमा तव गोचर शोध मने महिमा तव गोचर शोध मने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक है जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक है भव रोग विकार विनाशक है भव रोग विकार विनाशक है मन ये न रहे तव श्री चरणे मन ये न रहे तव श्री चरणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने 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 गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने. Okay, one more read and follow. Just follow after me. जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां श्री गणेश रक्ष मां One more you can follow. Om Sri Chandi Chamundeshwari Om Sri Chandi Chamundeshwari Om Sri Chandi Chamundeshwari Om Sri Chandi Chamundeshwari Janagati Dayamai Janagati Dayamai Janagati Dayamai Janagati Dayamai Jagat Janani Jayata Janapali Jagat Janani Jayata Janapali Jagat Janani Jayata Janapalini Janani Jayata Janapalini Shakti-date Jive Kupamayi Shakti-date Jive Kupamayi Shakti-date Jive Kupamayi Shakti-date Jive Kupamayi Om श्री चंडी चामुंडेश्वरी, ओम श्री चंडी चामुंडेश्वरी, ओम श्री चंडी चामुंडेश्वरी,
ओम श्री चंडी चामुंडेश्वरी।
दुर्जनघातिनि दयामयी, दुर्जनघातिनि दयामयी, दुर्जनघातिनि दयामयी, दुर्जनघातिनि दयामयी, जगज्जननि जयत जनपालिनि, जगज्जननि जयत जनपालिनि, जगज्जननि जयत जनपालिनि, जगज्जननि जयत जनपालिनि, शक्तिदाते शिवे कृपामयी, शक्तिदाते शिवे कृपामयी, शक्तिदाते शिवे कृपामयी, शक्तिदाते शिवे कृपामयी। ओम श्री चंडी चामुंडेश्वरी, ओम श्री चंडी चामुंडेश्वरी, दुर्जनघातिनि दयामयी, दुर्जनघातिनि दयामयी, जगज्जननि जयत जनपालिनि, जगज्जननि जयत जनपालिनि, शक्तिदाते शिवे कृपामयी, शक्तिदाते शिवे कृपामयी। One more lead and follow. Just follow after me. हे प्रेम रूप श्री राम कृष्ण,
हे प्रेम रूप श्री राम कृष्ण,
करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां।
हे प्रेम रूप श्री राम कृष्ण,
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 करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां।
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
मम प्राण प्रिय पाहि मां,
मम प्राण प्रिय पाहि मां,
मम प्राण प्रिय पाहि मां,
मम प्राण प्रिय पाहि मां।
हे प्रेम रूप श्री राम कृष्ण,
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 करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां,
करुणामय पालय मां।
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश,
मम प्राण प्रिय पाहि मां,
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 मम प्राण प्रिय पाहि मां।
So now we will sing the Savakasamritam together. Everyone knows this. So let's sing together.
Savakatamritam Saptajivanam Kariviridam Sarvashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Krishna Guriganantaye Buridajana Avakatamritam Saptajivanam Kaviviridam Kalmashapaham Ravanamangalam Srimadatam Krishna Guriganantaye Buridajana. Om. Taking refuge in the holy feet of Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi, and Sri Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world, my humble salutations to them forever and ever. Kalyananam abhikara nidhi, kapi karunya seema, nitya modha nigama vajasam mauli mandara mala, sampad divya madhu vijayinaha sannidattam sadame, Saisha Devi Shakala Bhuvana Prarthana Kamadenu. May Divine Mother, the infinite source of all auspicious things, the ultimate abode of compassion, one who is glorified in the Vedas and Vedanta, the divine consort of Sri Ramakrishna, the unique benefactor of all the worlds, always manifest before you. My humble salutations to you all. The man was in desperation and he was running in his full capacity in a street. A wise man stopped him and asked, "Dear, why are you running?" The man replied that I am being chased continuously. The wise man said, "So let me see who is chasing you." So he pushed him aside and looked forward. And he did not find anybody there. Then he spoke to this man. "Well, I don't see anyone there who is chasing you. Is it a dog or a man? So please explain who is chasing." Then the man said, "What do you mean you don't see anybody? Don't you see this?" And the wise man looked again and he understood that he is indicating his own shadow. So he is saying, "My own shadow is chasing me all the time. I don't know how to get rid of this in my life, from my life." The wise man replied, "So what are the endeavors you did? Please tell me so that I can understand." Then the man continued, "I dug a 6 feet to bury my shadow. Then moment I filled the dirt, I suddenly found that my shadow has come out of that dirt and appearing on that soil without any difficulty." Then he continued that I tried to get rid of the shadow in various timings. He said, morning I was running fast, it was running ahead of me. Then I turned and running backward, and it was following me behind, then I don't know. I'm very tired. I don't know how to get rid of this shadow from my life. And the wise man said, so let me tell you how to get rid of this. Then he suggested that you lay down completely and you will get rid of it. Then this man obeyed and he laid himself completely on the floor, on the ground. And the time was midday. Obviously, he couldn't find his shadow. And, he felt very happy that he got rid of this. What is the moral of this story? So, most of us are running like this man. So, what is this shadow of ours? From Ramakrishna's point of view, it is ahankara and mamaka. That is desire and lust, kama and kancana. So when we run towards material enjoyment, it is ahead of us. Then when we turn and run towards God, it is behind us. But when we do saranagati, it is completely kept under control, or it is, you can say, it has vanished. So that is the story, the moral of this story. So which Thakur emphasized many times to have this attitude of Saranagati. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get rid of Kama Kancana, concept of lust and desire from our life. So let us recapitulate our previous class. We are now studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have entered into the text now. The first test is over for Mahendranath Gupta. So he was given 3 tests. First test we actually discussed in the last class. So Ramakrishna was testing the concept of mamakara, that is concept of mind. Whether we all feel proud of our relationships, family we are born in. We are proud of our possessions, and we all the time talk about that. And we have no time for God. So Ramakrishna is testing Mahendranath Gupta through his first question. Are you married? Do you have children? So to see what is his response. So because when we have attachment towards our towards the worldly possessions, then we forget to experience God. So that was the first question Sri Ramakrishna posed to Mahendranath Gupta. And in fact, Ramakrishna answered, all belongs to God. And these are transient. And they are subjected to change. And this is the first knowledge of matter. In Vedanta, we should have 3 knowledge. I wouldn't say 3, we can say knowledge is 1, but we should have 3 kinds of knowledge. That is knowledge about matter, knowledge about individual soul, and knowledge about Brahman or God, Ishvara. Very important. The first test is to impart in the knowledge of matter. Now let us go to the text. After a few minutes, Sri Ramakrishna looked at him kindly because he asked, are you married? Do you have children? Immediately he felt ashamed. He thought that, to say I'm married and have a children, he felt that it is shameful to answer positive in front of holy man. So to comfort him, Sri Ramakrishna continued. He said affectionately, you see, you have certain signs and good signs. I know them by looking at person's forehead, his eyes, and so on. Ramakrishna always tests these in this way.
Lakshana.
He will see the various, how the eyes is. Sometimes he will tell his to his disciples, remove your shirt. I want to see your chest.
Yeah.
All these things. Only then he will try to impart instruction based on his capacity. But these type of criterias, the assessment criterias, Holy Mother never applied.
Yeah.
He was very selective, Sri Ramakrishna. But Holy Mother was like a big ocean. Anybody can go into and get access to it. But Sri Ramakrishna was not like that. He was very, very selective. He picked his cherries, I would say. That much I can say. So, then tell me now, what kind of person you are wife? That is Nikunja Devi. That is wife. That is Mahendranath Gupta's wife. And as she does she have spiritual interest, and or is she under the power of avidya? So this is a general question. These are all very subtle questions. The Yam is just ordinarily answering. Yes, she is all right, and he says I'm afraid she's ignorant. Normally, our like male-dominated society, they always put their wife under down, keep them down.
Maybe she is not educated. I think that's what he meant by she's ignorant. Is it?
Yeah, but see, it will continue. Then Master immediately, with evident displeasure, he said, "Are you a man of knowledge? And you try to tell others that they are ignorant, then do you know everything?" So what is this question? And why is he declaring that? Do you have knowledge? So this is a subtle understanding. Now the understanding the difference between knowledge and ignorance. What is knowledge? What is ignorance? Sri Ramakrishna is trying to tell us. So this is the difference between yoga ruda and a normal people like us, who are leading a tapta jivanam. Tapta jivanam means life of those aggrieved in the material world. So in Gita, we have a beautiful verse. Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti sanyami yasyam jagarti bhutani sa nisha pashyate muni. So when all beings consider as day is the night of ignorance for the wise people. Then what all creatures see as night, that is a day of wisdom for wise people. Sri Ramakrishna's statement to him, are you questioned? To him, are you a man of knowledge? Is to indicate that knowledge means not material knowledge. He is trying to say. He actually made difference based on his qualification, because he was a professor and teacher. And she was just an ordinary housewife. He had lots of he had high qualifications, our Mahendranath Gupta. So already, to know God, these things are not yardsticks. We don't need PhDs or degrees from Harvard universities or big positions to know God. According to Ramakrishna, that's all. It's a filth, which he already demonstrated in his life. He never went to school. So he is discriminating between the material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. He also asked, so here, what is the knowledge according to Sri Ramakrishna? The knowledge about wisdom of Brahman. Rest is ignorance. So he is trying to indirectly help our. Is indirectly trying to help Mahendranath Gupta to know who he is. That is the first knowledge of matter, then the knowledge of individual soul. So he is trying to help that man. Now we shall continue the text. Yam had yet to learn the distinction between knowledge and ignorance. Up to this time, his conception had been that one got knowledge from books and schools. Later on, he gave up this false conception. He was taught that to know God is knowledge. All effort we do to know God is knowledge, and not to know Him is ignorance. This is a simple definition of Sri Ramakrishna. Ignorance is not to know God. Knowledge is anything we do to know God is knowledge. When Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed, "And you are a man of knowledge," Yam's ego was again badly shocked.
Second time you got
First, ego was crushed, and second time, ego is crushed. First, it was mamakara, the second was ahankara. When these two are gone, he is ready for saranagati, as per the story what I told you. And that immediately the dawn of the knowledge of Brahman. Brahma Jnana, Brahma Sakshatkara, knowledge is available for this person. So in Devi Mahatmayam also, first Shumba is Nishumba is killed by mother. Nishumba symbolizes the Mamakara. When Mamakara goes away, the Shumba concept of Ahankara will also totally subdue or got rid of. Now comes, and also first blow was he was imparted to do charity. Mamakara, when Mamakara is gone, the charity concept will come. When Ahankara goes, humility will come. Humility always walks on two legs. It has got 2 feet. Humility. One is consciousness of weakness, the other is the divine grace. Humility should always walk on these 2 feet. Suppose if we forget that we have God's grace, then we will be degrading ourselves, saying that we are weak, we are weak, we are weak. Suppose we forget that we have no weakness, and always we are having grace of God. Immediately ahankara will come. So we should feel that we have grace all the time, and at the same time we should be conscious of our weakness. That is why Holy Mother said, never find fault on others, rather see your own. That is, she is imparting humility. You are not degraded all the time. Don't always think about your weakness, but remember that every weakness is always supported by grace of God for one to be uplifted. Even in Bible, all the time, that we have a sentence, I'm a sinner, I'm a weak, all these. But it is a concept of humility being taught in Bible. But humility always goes with 2 support, 2 concepts. It walks on 2 feet. One is consciousness of God, consciousness of weakness. The other is grace of God. If either one is left, we are in danger. It should be always kept hand in hand so that we don't Don't find fault on others, rather work on our own faults and focus on our own weakness to be deleted or got rid of, and then we get rid of, or then we focus on our spiritual progress. Third test, very, very important question in Vedantic concept. Sri Ramakrishna asks, do you believe God with form or without form? This is the biggest argument in Vedanta. And in Vedantic concept, the different schools present different, description on this. M, rather surprised, said to himself, how can one believe God with form and at the same time believe that he does not have a form? Can these two contradictory ideas be true at the same time? Can we say, I am sleeping at the same time running? It cannot happen. And also, he gives an example. Can a white liquid like milk be black? Can you say the milk is both black and white at the same time? So this is a very important question in Vedantic concept, and it is very, very, very controversial, and we need a separate session to understand this in various interpretations to get exactly what it is. Then M replied, sir, I think I like to think of God as formless. He replies that Nirakara, or you can say Nirvishesha. Nirakara, Nirvishesha. The master, Ramakrishna replies, very good. It is enough that you have faith in either aspect. So you believe in God without form, and that is quite all right. Because he has faith in God. That much Sri Ramakrishna wants. Whether God has form or without form, whether it is male, female, or any other concept like what Mohammedan thinks, Ramakrishna doesn't want to go in. He wants just one person who says, I love God. That's it. So we will see how that is matching with the commentaries of our acharyas. That is Vedanta acharyas. But never for a moment think that this alone is true and all else false. He immediately wants that. Remember that God with form is just as true as God without form. So he is substantiating, reconciling, sorry. It's a bit tongue twister form. Both these aspects, beautiful. But hold fast on your own conviction. The assertion that both are equally true amazed him. Because so far he hasn't heard such statement from anyone. And he had never learned this from his books too. Because M was not actually a great scriptural learner. He was an academician. He was a school principal, headmaster, and he knows all the subjects. And he was a good teacher, excellent teacher. And many of our monks joined because of M's inspiration. And he was transformed by Sri Ramakrishna. The assertion that both are equally true amazed him, and he had never learned this from anyone. And that this ego received a third blow. Because what he thought of Brahman, and he thought that is only correct, and all other aspects are wrong or incorrect. So he was contracting Brahman in his own view. That Sri Ramakrishna said, you cannot limit Brahman in your view. So that ego was challenged by Sri Ramakrishna. Now the question was raised by M, and I'm just going to go a little bit about this form and formless in a little scriptural way. I request you all be patient and try to follow me, because I'm going to go through few Upanishad statements. What does Upanishad say about this? This might be an abstract for few, so don't worry, because this needs repetition to contemplate. The question was raised by Sri Ramakrishna to him to impart the knowledge of Brahman. Now, Brahman has attributes or no attributes is the biggest question facing the Vedantic exposition. It is actually a valid question. M did not, actually Sri Ramakrishna posed a very valid question to M. But Ramakrishna made a synthesis that God is with form, that is, and also without form. So there is a statement in Upanishad, Ekatve sati nanatvam, nanatve sati cha ekata. Ekata. Her name is Ekata. So being one, it is many. And being many, it is one. Same time. We have that in our scriptures. The statement is there. Now, why did our Mahendranath Gupta believe that God is formless? Because he belongs to Brahma Samaj. In Brahma Samaj, they don't believe in idol worship. Like Kali, Ganesha, Krishna, Shiva, Jesus. They don't believe in any form of human idol there, or any idol for that matter. Our Nandi and the Simha, all the lion vehicle and all other Garuda, they don't believe in image form, and they are strictly against it. So, and they don't believe in polytheism, many gods. They don't believe in that. So they have one God, and that God is God cannot have any incarnation. Like in a human form, Rama, Krishna, we celebrate their incarnations, their birth, but they don't believe in that. But that God has attributes. He has compassion, mercy, and grace. He is ready to save people. All these things they believe. Almost concept of Muhammad and Allah. But they don't believe that God is in human form. So obviously, our Mahendranath Gupta did exactly believe that God has no form. So that is how he answered Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna wants to correct by stating that God is both with form, that is human form, and also formless. That is why Swamiji brought that idea Shiva Jnane, Jiva Shiva. So he said, Ramakrishna also said, if you want to see God, you better see him in human being. Because human beings are the highest manifestation of God. Later he is going to say that organic unity, that is Brahman, universe are organically inseparable, and then it makes non-duality. He's going to say that later. So in Vedanta, Brahman in its true inherent nature cannot have division. That is in Brahmatvam, Brahmanness. You cannot have division in that. and any change cannot be allowed. Any change is not allowed in that. Only in Brahman's attributes, changes are allowed and divisions are allowed. How to understand this? Milk's inherent nature is milkness. Milkness. And it has got white color.
Color is attribute.
Color is an attribute. It's a guna. You can find whiteness just not only in milk. You can see whiteness in the white paint also. But you cannot see milkness in the paint. White color, you can see it in the anywhere you see white car, but milkness you cannot see in that car. Of course, white is shared everywhere. So milkness and whiteness both are distinct from each other and they are absolutely inseparable. Another example is you go to an ocean and you drink the water of the ocean, waterness and saltness. Both are there. Scientists will say water molecule and salt molecule. But if you go to the river and drink water and taste water, you won't find saltness there. But waterness is there. So saltness can decrease, or if you heat the ocean water, you can separate the water and salt. We have an extraction, we have an experiment to do that. We can just break it, separate the water from the salt. And again, if you put it back, it gets mixed. So the waterness and saltness, we can't have division in waterness. Waterness is always waterness. So, but here, Ramakrishna is saying that Brahmanness has both form and without form. Means, how can we have both at the same time? So, if we say, for an example, a man has justice and also injustice, means, how do we understand that? Then justice will negate injustice. Then what will happen? The man has nothing. But it is reconciled. Man shows justice to bad people, and at the same man shows injustice to bad people, and at the same time justice to good people. It is reconciled now. Both are with the same person at the same time. So, in this way, form and formless can stay with Brahman, because form and formless both are attributes of Brahman, and Brahman can have infinite attributes. And Brahmanness, along with Brahmanness, he can have infinite attributes, inseparably together as non-dual. Famous Swamiji's lecture. I'm going to give a testimony, because don't think I am just saying it in my own way. I'm giving you a testimony. Swamiji states in his lecture, The Open Secret. Lecture name is Open Secret, delivered in California, 1900. He says, we are like waves in the ocean. Please understand, when we say ocean, the word ocean doesn't stop with water alone. The moment we say ocean, it includes the earth, water, and pressure. Three together as ocean. The word ocean itself means receptacle of water bodies. It is always, water is not receptacle. Receptacle is not water, but it always comes as a package. So, we are like waves in the ocean. The wave is the ocean and yet not the ocean. Swamiji himself says that. There is not any part of the wave of which you cannot say it is ocean. The name ocean applies to wave and equally to every part of the ocean, and yet it is separate from the ocean. Every wave includes water and pressure, just not water. If there is no pressure, water cannot rise. If you say water can rise without pressure, then it should rise even from our glass, from this. And here also, in this container, there is pressure too. But that pressure, what you see in our ocean, it has got a much higher pressure. It is in a kinetic. Motion is in kinetic. So the pressure is carrying the water and just putting back in the same place. So every wave includes pressure and water distinct from each other but inseparably together. So every wave is water plus pressure in kinetic is the form of an ocean. And when same water plus pressure in potential form is a formless of an ocean. When we go into the ocean, travel deep into the ocean, there is pressure and the water is equally staying there. We don't see any form there. But from the seashore, we see lots of forms because water is creating, the pressure is creating, forms through with the water because of the kinetic motion. So, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, a very important Upanishad in Vedantic work. In the second Brahmana, third section, this particular matter is dealt. It is called Murta and Amurta Brahmana. Murta means with form, Amurta means without form. Dvevava Brahmano Rupe Murtam cha Amurtam cha. Mrityum cha Murtam cha Amurtam cha. Mrityum cha Amrutam cha. Sthitam cha Yat cha. Sat cha and Kyat cha. Very difficult, no doubt about it. So, how to understand this? Upanishad says Brahman has two forms. Upanishad itself declares that Brahman has two forms. One is Murtam and Amurtam, with form and without form. And it lists the characters of form and the characteristics of formless. So I'm not going to go deep into all this, but I'll just say the gist. So when Brahman is with form means, so Brahman has a corporeal form, which is gross form. That's whatever we see. That is, it is in the form of fire, water, and earth. And same Brahman, formless means Brahman in the form of air and ether. They don't have forms. Fire has a form, water has a form, earth has a form. The other two, ether and pressure, they don't have a distinct form. Logically, we see it, we understand rationally. And also, formless includes, apart from ether and pressure, we have Jivatma, Atma Swarupa. We don't know what form that is. Now, Upanishad clearly says in Antaryami Brahman, that is, after this Murta and Amurta Brahmana, Upanishad takes us to Antaryami. Antaryami means inner controller. It says, Yaha Prithivyam Tishtan Prithivya Antaraha Yam Prithivina Veda. Earth does not know. Yasya Prithivi Shariram. Earth is the body of Brahman. Yaha Prithivim Antaro Yamayati Sa Ta Yesha Ta Atma Antaryami Amrita. The meaning of this is he who inhabits in the earth but is within it and whom the earth does not know. Earth does not know that Brahman is the Antaryami of the earth. And whose body is the earth? That is, earth is the body of Brahman, and who controls the earth from within and is the inner ruler and your own immortal self. So this is how Upanishad teaches. Like that, Upanishad lists 22 categories, starting from earth, fire, air, water, sun, light, and then all beings, light, breath, prana, then tamas, so many others, and finally individuals. So the simple way to understand is Brahman is the Antaryami of the earth, but the earth does not know that Brahman is its Antaryami. Individual soul, we are all individual soul, and Brahman is the soul of the souls. And each soul we don't know. Like a fish searching for water. A fish comes and asks you, please tell me where is the water. What answer will be given to the fish? You are living in water only. We don't have a precise object to show to the fish that, oh, this is water. A big whale is asking you this question, asking us this question. The answer is, what answer can we give to that? So the earth is in the form. When Brahman is Antaryami of the earth, then it has got a form. Same Brahman, when it is Antaryami of ether or pressure, it is formless. So same Brahman with form and without form all the time, because he has got many forms at the same time, but he is one. In this way, Upanishad itself reconciles this. But at the end of this Upanishad, a very important statement. What is that statement? It says, Atata Adeshaha Neti Neti. Very important statement in Upanishadic exposition. Neti Neti. Nahi Yetasmat iti na iti anyat param asti. Ata namadeyam satyasya satyam iti. Very important. Satyasya satyam. Pranavai satyam. Tesham yesha satyam. Iti tritiyam brahmana. What is the meaning of this? It is now instructing about the nature of the Brahman. First it said Brahman has form. Then it says Brahman doesn't have a form. I mean, formless. Brahman has formless form. Or you can say Brahman is formless. First he said Brahman has form. Then it said Brahman does not have form. Then Upanishad continued to say that apart from these two, Brahman has a very peculiar form. And Upanishad says that. Then after that, this statement is given that Brahman has Brahman's form, that is Neti Neti. It is negating. Neti Neti. Now, how to understand this? Not this, not this. This is where the commentators differ in their explanation. Not this, not this. For example, I say, Lokesh has a house here and he owns 2 houses in Washington. Then he owns a big estate in California. Then he owns a big another 2 estates in UK. Then he has 3 houses in Bengaluru, and he has got lots of wealth in Swiss bank. Then he has got many qualifications. He's very well. He's an academician, and in fact, he owns like very exquisite cars and jewelries. All these I'm listing. Then I say, not this, not this. What do we mean by this? Am I negating all what I said about him? The other way of understanding is not this much, not this much. I only know about him what he has, but he alone knows how much he has. I am a second person from him, and then I know that yes, only I listed few, but he has even more.
What is the meaning of this?
Yeah, which I don't know. He alone knows it. So neti means not here to negate. Now after describing Brahman as form and then having Brahman is formless and is antaryami of both the formless aspects and then antaryami of the form, then when I say neti means, it only means that he has not only limited to these 2, but he has even much more. So in Sanskrit terms, it's called yata. Yata means not this much, not this much. Iti na iti. Etasmat na hi anyat param asti. There is nothing higher than Brahman who is described as not this much, not this much. He has got list. The list is growing. Infinite, it is infinite. I cannot list all the things in my lecture. So that is what exactly neti is. So because Ramakrishna is going to say all these things in future. So what is described as neti is that Brahman cannot be limited by just this corporeal and non-corporeal form, but he is much more to describe. And there is another adhikarana in Brahma Sutra, which is Ubhayalinga Adhikarana. Ubhayalinga means Brahman has 2 forms, 2 aspects, 2-fold aspects. That is, one is he has got, one aspect is he has infinite Ananta Kalyana Gana, infinite auspicious qualities. And second is he is free from any imperfection. Though he is present in all these corporeal forms and non-corporeal forms, the blemish of earth will not affect him, his nature. That is why Upanishad gives 2 beautiful examples. One is Gata Akasha, the second is the reflection of the sun in the water. But this is again interpreted by our commentators in different ways. So again, I'm not going to those details, but eventually we will go. At this time, this is enough, because Upanishads clearly say, Chandogya Upanishad clearly say about Brahman like this: Yad Atma Apahata Papma Vijaraha Vimurtyuhu Vishokaha Vijikatsaha Apipasaha Satyakamaha Satyasankalpaha. The meaning of this is Brahman is free from sin, free from old age, free from death, free from sorrow, free from hunger and thirst, because all these things are traits of a living soul who is subjected to karma. Now, and Satya Kamaha, Satya Sankalpaha is the auspicious quality of the Brahman, because whatever he wish is fulfilled. And Swamiji also defines in his lecture, God is both personal and impersonal. He gives a beautiful example, like a man seeing a sun in a small hole like this. And as the hole gets expanded, the same sun is growing bigger and bigger. Don't, not this much, make it bigger. 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 So the sun is just becoming big. His vision is expanding from small hole to a bigger, vast, expansive hole. All these same sun, as he expands in every stage, all the stages are true. So small hole is personal, and when the hole becomes massively big, it becomes impersonal. So Brahman has one particular form, and impersonal means Brahman has the capacity to take any form he likes. So formless means he can take any form he likes. That is the meaning of both form and without form. Now, going to the text. Now, M states, sir, suppose one believes in God with form. Certainly, he is not the clay image. Now, he is trying to argue. He started arguing with Ramakrishna. The master interpreting. But why clay? It is an image of spirit. Because nobody goes to a temple and pray that, oh, this is a stone. No. Nobody is doing that. We feel that it is presence of God there. The presence of spirit in the clay. We all know that it is a stone. That we pray Ganesha, we do Ganesha Chaturthi celebration, we do Shiva Puja, or we go to church, we see all images there. We all know it is made of a clay or some other material or substance, but nobody thinks it is clay or a stone. We feel that there is a spirit. Swamiji also explains this in a lecture called Formal Worship. Very beautifully. In fact, Swamiji exactly followed Sri Ramakrishna in all his lectures. But why clay? It is an image of spirit. The young could not understand the significance, what he means by image of spirit. Then he tries to argue with Ramakrishna. Sir, but sir, he said to the master, one should explain to those who worship the clay image that it is not God, and that while worshipping it, they should have God in view and not the clay image. So one should not worship clay. Upanishads again, Svetasvatara Upanishad says, Eko Devaha, Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha, Sarva Vyapi, Sarva Bhuta Antaratma, Karma Adhyakshaha, then Sarva Bhutadi Vasaha, then Sakshihi, Chetaha, then Kevalo Nirgunascha. So he is the one supreme and illustrious Lord who is imperceptibly present in all beings as the inner soul. He is not just present as a soul. He controls, Niyanta. Niyantritva is also there. He is just not only is present there, he is controlling us. That is very important. Saranagati plays an important role only when we accept that the God is controlling us. power of attorney, what our Girish Chandra Ghosh gave to Sri Ramakrishna. So, who is essentially intelligence, that is presence, the Swarupa of the Brahman is intelligence and jnana and purity. Then Master sharply, is rebuking our yam. That is the one hobby of you, Calcutta people. You always give lectures and bringing others to light. Nobody ever stops to consider how to get the light inside. You are teaching others, but have you ever tried yourself? We are very good teachers, but we never follow. That is the purpose of incarnation of Christ. When Christ incarnated, it was about to incarnate. Why he incarnated? Because the priestcraft was very staunch during their time. These priests were controlling the entire society, and the Jewish people. They were controlling the entire society. So whatever they taught, they never practiced. So Jesus was born to correct that. First, practice what you do. Your deed and your thought and deed should be exactly same. Otherwise, it is not spirituality at all. So that's Sri Ramakrishna's view. So he then immediately with irritated mood, Ramakrishna is replying to him. He who is the Lord of the universe will teach everyone. So he alone teaches. Who has created this universe and who has made the sun and moon, men and beasts and all other beings, who has provided means for their sustenance, and he will teach us and he will be our inner guide. And suppose if there is an error in worshipping the clay image, so God will correct us. Well, you are very much worried about. You better try to realize God through these methodology. He is indirectly saying, if you say that God is formless, have you seen him? Have you realized him? You haven't realized. You are just making a statement because Brahma Samaj told. You first realize that he is formless. Then you won't say all these things. He is indirectly trying to, break all that ego he had. Then this time Hem felt that this ego was completely crushed. Then he now said to himself, yes, he has spoken the truth. And what need is there for me to teach others? And that's one of the main teaching of Holy Mother. Never find fault in others. Rather, you see your own fault. Have I known God? Do I really love him? I haven't room enough for myself in my bed. And I'm inviting my friends to share it with me. I know nothing about God, yet I'm trying to teach others. What a shame. How foolish I am. This is not mathematics or science, or history or literature, that one can teach it to others. No, this is the deep mystery of God. When he says appeals to me. What he says appeals to me. So this is very important. And then because Katha Upanishad clearly says that. What does it say? Nyayamatma pravachanena labhyah na medaya na bhaguna srutena yam eva yesha grunute tena labhyah tasya atma vigrunite tanusyam. And also Bhagavad Gita says, na aham vedairna tapasa na dhanena na cha ijjaya shakya evam vido drashtum drishtavanasi mam yata. Neither the study nor the Vedas nor by penance not by charity, not by fire sacrifices, we can know Him. Only through His grace. So, anyway, we are nearing our time. So I will finish with a small story. There lived here in a small village one saintly person. He was a pujari. He was a pujari in a Shiva temple, and he had a desire to build Shiva temple. I mean, he wants to expand the temple, and or he wants to build a new temple for his beloved Lord. But he didn't have money. So he was praying to Lord how to get money to build temple. But he didn't have one single cent. He did not have one single cent. Then the Lord encouraged him to build temple in your heart. In the same village or in a kingdom, that means the village belonged to a kingdom. A king also wanted to build a big, massive Shiva temple. So he had money. So he ordered his ministers to build a big temple. And the temple was almost over. Consecration ceremony, Kumbhabhishekam. Consecration ceremony has to be. It should be consecrated. So he chose a date through astrologers and all. A very auspicious day he chose. Then the same. I'll come later. So he went to bed. Then Shiva appeared in his dream and told him, you cannot do this consecration ceremony on that day, and I won't come attend that. And this king said, why Lord, where are you going? He said, I have to attend another consecration ceremony in the same day, on same day, in your kingdom. Then this king said, what do you mean? Who has built another temple? Is anybody built another temple without my knowledge in my kingdom? And you are going to attend that consecration ceremony? Who has built? You please tell me. Then he named that this person, Shiva named him. This person has built a temple. So I am going to go to the consecration ceremony there. I'm going to be there. The next day, king immediately with all his ministers and other armies, he marched towards that fellow. So where is the temple I want to see? And Shiva himself has prioritized his presence there. I would like to see. Then our priest, a very poor man, he was sitting under a tree, and he asked, Swami, where is the temple I would like to see? And you have built temple without my permission. You should ask my permission first. Council permission is needed before we build anything in this country. Then he said, oh, please see my temple. And he showed the temple in his heart. And he was able to, our king was able to see the temple, the massive Shiva temple in his heart. Then he understood that building temple in heart is more important than building temple physically outside. Our Yatishwar Anandaji also once said, when he was in Chennai Mart. One of our devotees asked him, Visvaranandji was vice president of our center, and he lived maybe during 70s, 1970s. He was in Germany for a few years and then returned to India, and he was living in our Bangalore ashram. So he visited our Chennai Mat for 100 years Swamiji's birthday, I think. So one devotee asked, Swami, have you constructed any new buildings? Or is there any proposal to do? Then immediately Swami replied, I don't want people to build physical temples. Let them build temples in their heart. So that is where our grace is prioritized. So with this, I conclude. Mangalam Desikendraya, Eminam Chakravartine, Parasakti Swarupinne, Jai Matesha Mangalam, Sarve Jana Sukino Bhavantu, Samastakan Mangalani Bhavantu. Let all people be happy and let auspiciousness divide everywhere. Yes, that's it.
Come back. Ready? So we'll sing Gahara and then do the other thing. So let's sing together. Everyone knows this song. Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna. Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna. Ye Jugati Naviye Bhagat Jana. Ye Jugati Naviye Bhagat Jana. Gaho Gaho Rama Krishna. Gaho Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna. Gaho Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna. Rama Krishna Name, Rama Krishna Preme, Rama Krishna Name, Rama Krishna Preme, Matiya Utag Dharadha, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam, Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Harite Bhubha Prema Avatar, Harite Bhubha Prema Avatar, Prabhu Rama Krishna Gunadam, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam, Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Jai Rama Jai Krishna Vishwa Guru Rama Krishna. Jai Rama Jai Krishna Vishwa Guru Rama Krishna. Ekadhare Shama Shiva Sham. Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki, Jai Shri Mahamai Ki, Jai Shri Swamiji Maharaj Ji Ki, Jai Shri Shri Durga Mai Ki. End the meeting.